like, hey, just so you know, you got California plates, you know.
Right.
Keep your seatbelt on, keep your speed down. Like, they'll pull
you're
you
a
over.
Target. You're a straight up target.
And
do a lot of people just go there to watch, where like they're not doing anything? They're just cucking. They're just cucking and stuff. Yeah, voyeurs. Yeah.
I don't know if you'd be cool with it, but like, I wanted to get.
Are you about to beat me with that right now?
No, but that's how it starts normally.
Jesus.
They can press a button or activate something, and it'll literally inflate it for them.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You usually get one toss at you, and then if that doesn't hit, that's when hands come out.
Oh shit!
Yeah. You've seen me when I drink a little bit. I'm a little more relaxed.
Yeah, I was like, why isn't Alvaro hard right now? Yeah.
It's just like the one thing I probably won't do is like get into deep with my ex, because like I don't want her to put her on blast.
I don't want to talk about that either.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about their ex. I don't want to talk about my ex.
I'm done talking about it.
Yeah. Don't ask me about my ex either.
I haven't.
All right, good.
We're good.
Mutual understanding. But this is my friend Alvaro. Alvaro is here to join us. How you doing?
Doing good.
That sounded really fake and professional. How are you? How are you
doing?
How are you? How's anyone? But thanks for coming on, though. I appreciate it. And this is kind of like last notice and stuff. I've known Alvaro. I've known you since 2020. I think we met. We're pandemic buddies.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I actually hired you to build the wall that's literally behind you.
Right behind me. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think isn't it kind of funny that I hired a Mexican to build a wall?
I think it's appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, Donald Trump wanted to have Mexico actually pay for the wall.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And build it.
Probably. Yeah.
His dreams came true.
We would have.
I don't even know how you're here right now. How'd you get past it? You must have built like a secret door or something that I didn't know about.
There's ways. That's what we call them, coyotes.
You guys are clever. You guys are really clever. But are you 100%? You're 100% Mexican.
Technically, no. My dad's from El Salvador, but I was born in Mexico. Raised when I was a kid, I was there for a couple years, and then came to the U.S. later on. But most of my life has been between the U.S. and Mexico.
You've been bouncing back and forth.
Yeah,
and stuff.
My mom used to send me like every summer to Mexico because it was cheaper, like a round trip ticket versus having a babysitter during summer.
Oh, so just for the summer, it'd be like Mexico was your summer camp.
Yeah, but instead of like I had fun. I got to like hang out on a farm, go like to because my grandpa, they had a farm. We had crops. I got to like ride horses, play with chickens and pigs.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So were you ever growing up in the city, or were you just very remote, kind of like very rural in the farm area?
No, so I'm from Zacatecas, which is one of the biggest states in Mexico, and I'm from a small town with maybe 32 families when I was there.
Oh shit.
Named San Juan de la Casimira.
I'll remember that.
Right. There'll be a quiz at the end.
Yeah.
But no, it was like super small. We didn't have plumbing when I was there. We had no running water. We had like a river nearby.
Were you like as a kid? Do you remember how would you feel going off to that place every summer? Were you excited? Were you dreading it? Was it a bummer? Was it great?
Oh, I loved it. Like I got to like literally like have fresh tomatoes off the vine kind of stuff. I got to see we'd slaughter animals for food.
That's cool.
It's kind of dark, but it's like there's nothing fresher than a fresh steak.
100%. When you heard that animal screaming like 2 hours before you ate it, that's like it doesn't get any fresher than that.
You do it quick. There was quick ways of doing it so they wouldn't suffer and like make it real quick.
Would you ever get sad? You're like, no, don't kill the Geppetto, whatever the cow's name was.
No, yeah, there was the first time I remembered is when my grandpa I caught him killing a goat for birria. And I saw him like literally like
is so good.
I saw him put the rifle to the goat's head and like do a clean kill.
Yeah.
And I grabbed the broom and just started beating my grandpa with it. I'm like, why are you hurting the goat?
Right.
And my grandpa just like, no, it's for food. Like my grandma had to physically pull me off of him, like a 6-year-old.
Which is like viscerally, that's very an intense. That's intense imagery for something like someone so young to witness. But in like the grand scheme of things, that's way less cruel than how factory farms kill animals, right? Like just like a clean blow to the head, like that's like a dream for any kind of farm animal.
My grandpa was big on like humanely like putting out the animals because he would raise these animals since they were calves or like in his hand. He loved all of them, and to the day he died, he still was raising cows and chickens. Yeah, and he cared for them. They all had names, but circle of life, we had to eat. And over there, we had like these little convenience stores, but we didn't have supermarkets. Right. So like the guy that there was 2 competition.
You guys didn't have like a taco truck on the farm or anything?
No,
like there wasn't.
We just made it ourselves. Everything was like homemade. Yeah. Like the primary food that we'd eat every day. Yeah. Mostly everyone raised and traded in between like the 16 families that were living there.
Whoa. So then like would you come back to the U.S. to California and be like, this food sucks, or like this is not, there's nowhere, did it like taint your impression of like Western cuisine a little bit? I was like, oh, it's just not as good. It's just not as good here.
It was a little weird for me, I think, like coming back and forth, because I mean, I grew up in Hacienda Heights, like not too far from here. Like it was a lot dominant, like Mexican families.
Yeah.
But it would be like night and day, because like I'd be going during the summer to a pueblo where they're like, we didn't have like, we had dirt roads. All the houses were made out of like literally dirt, cinder blocks.
In Hacienda Heights?
No, I'm talking about when I lived in Mexico.
Okay. I was like, damn, this shit's changed a lot since then.
No, some places like Hacienda Heights, but like, no, there's some places. But like when in Mexico, like going from there and then coming back to the city where I had, you know, the big thing for me was like I had a toilet again and running showers. Like in Mexico, if I wanted to go to the toilet, you know, number one, you go outside in a tree or somewhere. If you want to go number two, I was literally squatting over nothing. Just squatting, using, not even joking.
That probably kind of helps you like appreciate what we have here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you were, it was almost like every summer you had to be on that show, The Simple Life. You know, with Paris Hilton, when she like had to go to the farm and
it humbles
just,
you.
Like, milk cows and shit, you know, and poop in a hole in the ground. Like,
yeah, no, it straight up humbles you. Like one of my favorite things was like when I was a kid, like the stores in Mexico, one of the things that they would, you know, they'd bring in sweets and candies and beer, like that's what they would sell. Nothing like sustenance wines. But I remember I got a cup of noodles once, like the top ramen cup of noodles, and I got excited, went to my grandma, I'm like, all right, cool, I want to eat this for dinner. And she's like, okay, cool, we're cooking it, but we're gonna have to wait till next week. And I was like, why? Oh, we don't have any more propane, and the propane man doesn't come until next week on Monday to give us propane.
You have to wait for things.
Yeah.
You can't just, it's not instant gratification, go like it is here in the city.
And like if we wanted to cook something, like we'd have to like build fires if we ran out of propane.
Yeah.
Which like would happen from time to time. It's like I remember like being excited to, you know, have this cup of noodles. Yeah. It was like a Thursday or Wednesday. I'm like, I got to wait almost an entire week so I get more propane. Yeah. To cook a simple cup of noodles.
Do you feel like people in Mexico, like who are born there, who have spent a lot of time there, are like have more patience? They're not as like demanding as like people from the city.
I think the older generations are, yeah. But like as the younger generation, like now Mexico is very modern. Like I've seen videos of the hometown I grew up in Mexico. Like now there's a school, there's a church, there's roads. I've been told that there's now better electricity.
You've been in Mexico City, right?
Long time ago. Like last time I went to Mexico City was I had to go there to get my papers, legal documentation when I was becoming a U.S. citizen. Yeah. Like I had to legally go over there in person, present. And that's like around the last time I went. And I remember going with my grandpa, and it was like a very, even for me at that time, like when I was a kid, a very modern city. Like there was like a lot more cars and
I'm thinking about, because I've been thinking about just taking a trip to Mexico City. I've heard so many good things about it. And, you know, obviously, like the first time I told my mom, I was like, I think I want to go to Mexico City. She was like, don't go to Mexico. Like there's this conception, right, that Westerners have, that like Californians have. I think just the U.S. that you're going to get shot, you're going to get stabbed, or the cartel's going to kidnap you and behead you. And I was like, well, Mom, it's pretty safe. From everything every time I like research it, it's like here, like go to Skid Row and you'll probably get fucked up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Go to downtown LA and like the wrong area, you'll get shot. But it's like every big city has their bad areas. So, but I've heard that there's just so much culture and so much like so many kind people in Mexico City. Did you ever feel once for a second that like going to Mexico in the summers did you ever feel more like in danger, that it was like more dangerous than it is here at any given point?
If anything, I felt safer because like when I grew up in Hacienda Heights in La Puente in the early 90s, it was like a lot of gangster culture. So like cholos, back and forth gang violence, and then I'd go to Mexico and it was calm. Right. But I was again in a rural area.
Exactly.
If you were to go like Mexico City, like everywhere has like its good and its bad sides.
Yeah.
Like,
you can find trouble if you're looking for it.
Like you went to Colombia. Right. And I asked you the same things, like how was it safe? And you're like, oh, the nicest people ever.
Right. But I stayed in like the touristy area, you know, that was like very like, you know, foreign friendly. Like I could have gone off the beaten path and been places I shouldn't have been. You know what I mean? But there were so many great areas that were just very inviting. Everyone's friendly.
And Mexico is the same way. Yeah. Like for instance, like with my in-laws, when they would go to Mexico, they would drive to Mexico, and there'd be certain roads you had to pay the cartels like a bribe to get through safely. Yeah. But that's like, you know, I don't know how that's new since I was in Mexico, because like when I would fly in, it wasn't that issue.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish things were a bit more like kind of more like less official here. Like I feel like in Mexico, like you could pay off a cop pretty easily. You know what I mean? Or give him some weed if he finds you, rolls. You can't do that here. If a cop finds weed on you, you're screwed no matter what. But in Mexico, you can be like, you can keep it. You know what I mean? Like or whatever. Here's $100. You know, and they'll most likely leave you alone. right? Like, I wish we had a little bit more corruption in LA. I would have gotten off the hook so many more times if I could have just been like, bro, just keep the gram. I don't need it.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've never personally experienced it, but I have heard that, like, my cousins who live right by the border in Tecate, the U.S.-Mexican border, they, like, let me know, like, hey, just so you know, when I went to go visit them a couple years ago for a wedding, like, hey, just so you know, you got California plates, you know?
Right.
Keep your seatbelt on, keep your speed down, like, they'll pull
you're
you
a
over.
Target. You're a straight-up target.
And, like, cops will pull you over. And, like, if they do, you know, my uncle was like, yeah, offer them 50.
Right.
Like, like, if they say no to the 50, go up to 100.
The cops in Mexico are basically just bouncers. You know, you can just pay off a bouncer and get in the club. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're not wearing the right shoes, you can't go in. Like, here's a 20. You know what I mean? All right. Go for it. But then that can go both ways, right? Because then they could also, like, f*** you over. They could, like, steal from you. They can rob you blind, and they know you're not going to do anything about it.
That happens here.
Well, maybe not as much. I would think maybe
there's literally stories online of people getting pulled over by cops, and they're like, oh, where'd you get this money? And it's called asset forfeiture or something like that. Like $10,000. Explain where this money came from. Oh, I just got it from the bank.
I don't doubt that it happens here.
Yeah.
But it seems like I just hear a lot more about it in Mexico. But maybe that's just because I'm hearing it from gringos.
You're always like, it's like
I'm in my little bubble.
You're focusing on Mexico with that cyan filter that you always see in TV show and movies.
Yeah.
Like who came from Mexico, like I hear different stories from Mexico, like from actual Mexicans. So it's a little different.
What do you think is a stereotype that we make as from the U.S., a stereotype that we make about Mexico that you would consider actually true? Like, actually, that is true.
That's actually true?
Yeah, like a stereotype that you're like, there is some truth to that. Damn, one that you would be like, nah, that they got that one on point.
That's a hard one, because like I usually disagree with most of them, but we do eat a lot of chile. A lot of hot sauce.
A lot of chile. Oh,
yeah. Mexicans, like in this, like South America,
right?
We're known for like eating spicy food,
and it's way spicier there than it is here. I'm guessing because I haven't had that spicy of food.
Well, it's because you don't know you got to go to certain places.
Yeah, right.
And
give me the habanero and stuff.
You got to ask for it and stuff like that.
Okay,
but like you know, you want the salsa verde that makes you cry.
Right. Yeah. Well, see, actually, like, I feel like they've been giving me hotter salsa lately, because I've been hiking more and I've gotten more brown.
The tanner?
Yeah. And so they see me and they're like, oh, he can handle the hotter salsa. Like, I feel like they've been giving me, you know what I mean?
Well, it depends on where you go, because like if you go like handle it. Like if you go to a certain place and it's just like good quality service, they'll just give everyone the same thing. Like no special treatment.
Equality.
Yeah.
But
it's like there's certain places like I took you to Salsa and Beer. Like that salsa was really good.
Yeah.
Like that's friendly for everybody because they get a lot of like non-Mexicans.
Right.
But remember I was telling you they had that molcajete with the chile?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, be careful, it'll pepper spray us on the way here.
Right, exactly.
And as soon as mine arrived, like we were both coughing.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I could see why they don't just give the hottest sauce to everyone, because a lot of the gringos, myself included, like we'll send it back or we'll be like, I can't eat this burrito because it's too hot for me, and they don't want to waste food. You know what I mean? They're like, this is wasteful. Like we'll just give them like if I had a restaurant, I would just give everyone like a mild, and then like upon request, I'll give you the hotter stuff if you know you can handle it.
But that's not authentic. Then it's not authentic Mexican food.
Yeah, that's true, right? You got to sacrifice something. You got to sacrifice
like Mexicans. Like I, as a Mexican who grew up eating a lot of hot sauce, like you know how much hot sauce I eat, like chile and stuff like that. I grow the Carolina Reapers at home.
Yeah.
Like I love that in Mexico now. They have
you'll put them up your butt and shit.
Baby food.
Yeah.
With chili in it now, like salsa verde, baby food. Like,
I mean,
like
honestly,
they're candies. I mean,
that's pretty cool though. Like you got to get them. You don't want your kid to be a bitch.
No.
You know what I mean? Like he's gonna grow up and be like, is that pepper? You know, like you gotta start him on it early.
Yeah, and
that's
like,
the way to do it.
And like one of my favorite things is like as a Mexican is like the other kind of food I really like is like the Indian food.
Yeah.
Because like I think India's really got down their spice. Like
100%.
Like India or like a lot of like Thai food.
Right.
Like the more chili, the better.
Yeah.
Like I love it, and a lot of Mexicans love it. But we have like the highest tolerance of it. So like the more we get, the more addiction. Like I've reached the point where I'm eating Carolina Reapers.
Right.
And I'm waiting for hotter.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, like that they're giving like candies, like spicy candies to like kids and stuff in Mexico. Do you feel like just the way that you're brought up, that you're raised in Mexico, like people raise their kids almost with like a more of like a tough love as opposed to being coddled like they are here? Where it's like you got to protect the kids from everything, and everyone's so sensitive. The parents are so sensitive. In Mexico, it's a bit more. Do you feel like it's a bit more rough around the edges, but with good intentions? Do you feel like you're, you know?
I think it's a little more generational, because like I grew up in a generation where like like it was borderline like tough love / like taking care of our baby. Like Mexican moms, they'll baby their kids. Like it's normal now for like a 22, 23-year-old Mexican kid to still live at home because his mom refuses to let him leave.
Right. But she'll still throw a slipper at you.
Oh yeah, no, that's the part. That's what I'm saying. It's the tough love.
Yeah.
But now there's generations like mine who are like no longer throwing the chancla. Like we're like getting rid of that not childhood trauma, but like, hey, there's better ways of like raising our kids and straight up beating them.
Well, speaking of chanclas, I've actually got some questions for you. We got a segment that is specifically for you. It's called Ask a Mexican. I reached out to our lovely Discord community and people on Twitter that follow us, and I said, I'm going to have a real-life Mexican on this show, so fire up your questions. Anything you want answers to from a Mexican perspective, fire away. And we got some good questions here. Actually, I was kind of surprised. Anthony said, do Mexicans ever think, man, I'd like to go out for gringo food? Which I thought was such a great question.
Well, we don't say like gringo food, but we'll say like, vamos a agarrar pizza. Well, like there's like, that's like white people food.
Is there like a
or
white people
food? Stuff like that. Like we don't say like, we don't like, there's white people don't like have like a category of food.
You don't put it in the category, right? It's like, just specific dishes.
It's like dishes or stuff like that, like hamburguesas or but
because white food in the U.S. is kind of like it's a
melting pot of everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the hamburgers, from somewhere in Europe and stuff like that. Right. Italian food is considered white. Like spaghetti and stuff like that. So there's no like, I think I've ever seen like category of like white food. When I went to Peru, I remember like I went to like an American hamburger restaurant. Yeah. And it was their version of an American hamburger where they had the burger, but they used torta bread, and they put the French fries inside of the burger.
Oh, okay.
And that was pretty bomb.
That's like a perfect blend of like California style and Mexican style.
Well, that was in Peru, so it was like Peruvian. Like it was their interpretation of it. But like when I go to like in Mexico, like they love Pizza Hut or
really?
Like Domino's. And
I was
gonna
say like what's the most popular Western dish in Mexico? Is it burgers or pizza? Is it pasta?
I think it's a lot of like the burgers and the pizzas. But like right now, like from I've seen like family and stuff like that, like they're really digging Japanese food right now. Like the weebs are alive in Mexico.
Japanese.
Because like ever since like the 90s, like we grew up with like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
All those like the Japanese animes done in Spanish dubs, which like if you haven't watched a Spanish dub anime, they're way better. And the music hits harder.
Better than the original? Like
better than the
Japanese?
American.
Better than the American. I don't doubt that. Like I just couldn't even get into some of those animes because I'm just like, Goku doesn't sound like that. That sounds like my PE teacher.
No, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So like when I watched the Japanese version, I'm like, he didn't sound like as like manly to me. And then when I watched the American dub version, I'm like,
because it's like, how are you gonna? Because I think Spanish is the perfect language for like an intense anime like Dragon Ball Z because of the machismo that you guys have. You know what I mean? Like a Japanese guy isn't very intimidating. He's like, oh, Kamehameha, but like a Mexican will fucking lay into it and make you feel like I'm about to get my ass torn in two right now.
But like the Spanish animes, like the animes done in Spanish, their voices aren't that like deep. They're not like,
that deep?
They're not like super deep voices. They're like clean cut. Like a lot of them are like clean, like just upstanding citizen kind of voices. Like
interesting.
The average kind of guy, and it sounds. But when they're like hyping up and stuff like that, you feel it. Like there's a little more like sauce in it, in a way to say it. Like,
Gotcha.
It's not like there's not like deep and stuff like that where their voices are getting deeper. It's just like it sounds like just like a knife cutting through.
Got it. But it sounds like they're good voice actors.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty awesome. So that's a great first start. The other question that Monkey asked is, my wife is Mexican, and speaking of what we were saying earlier, how can she hit me with a chancla from around the corner without even looking? So first explain what is a chancla and address this question. Your thoughts.
Oh yeah, I mean chancla is what we call a sandal, but usually they're made out of like something harder than just plastic.
Oh really?
Yeah,
like wood?
like leather or like a canvas. Like they're rigid because they wear them indoor, outdoor.
It's got good beating power.
Our version of moccasins.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, like everyone likes moccasins because they're like super comfortable, everyday kind of wear. The chancla is that version of it.
And this is like 5 people talked about the chancla. Someone said Mexican mothers have the accuracy of God himself with the chancla.
They're like heat seekers. They just know where you're at. Like it's just like you just need to get it.
Like they'll throw it and it'll like turn a corner and hit you.
Have you seen Wanted? You know when he kind of just like throws his arm,
the bullet and the bullet kind of curves.
He's got to like throw his arm.
Oh yeah,
the mom will just go like.
It's like putting spin on a bowling ball. It's just like, but in midair.
No, so Mexicans really like baseball. It's the other next popular sport to soccer.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Dodgers.
Like the curveball is still alive in Mexico.
But they do it with a flip flop.
Yeah, moms will watch baseball. Like, the dads watch baseball, moms are watching it with them, but they'll just don't know how to put a little spit on it.
And so do they usually just take it straight from their foot? Are they wearing it at the time, or do they just keep one on the counter or like on the coffee table?
Oh no, they're if you're at home, you're almost wearing it every time.
Oh really? Yeah. They'll just wear it indoors and then just. So they always have it on them. They're always strapped. They're always strapped. And they got two. They can dual wield. They could do two. Do they ever do two?
It's usually one. You usually get one toss at you, and then if that doesn't hit, that's when hands come out.
Oh shit! Yeah. So you almost want to run into the chancla. You want to get hit by it. You're like
no.
You want to because otherwise
is just
otherwise
stand still. It's just stand still. Just let it happen.
Oh right, because they'll hit you. Yeah.
Like if you move, it gets worse. But then that's what I'm going about. Like I haven't done that to my kid. Like there's
haven't thrown a slipper at him.
There's no violent like. I'm going disciplinary. I don't want that at home.
Right.
Because like that shit sucked.
Not even like a foam, like a foam flip flop.
No, like I go for the
squishy one.
I go for the I'm gonna take the iPad away, and then that gets to.
That's the new flip flop. You know.
Yeah, or unplug the Wi-Fi.
Oh God, that's a good one.
Just like I go behind the router and just be like,
and kids will cry more with that than if you were to beat them with a slipper.
Yeah, but now she knows how to troubleshoot. She's like, you just unplugged it, or you just turned it off.
Yeah.
So like now I've gotten to the point where
is it an iPad, like an Apple iPad?
Yeah.
You gotta switch it with like a Windows. So she doesn't know the UI. Or something,
but now what I do is like I go to my phone and I disable iPad. If she's like not listening and stuff like that,
hit the kill switch, yeah.
And then she's like, now they're smart because she'll like grab my phone and she knows my iPhone password from time to time.
Right.
Or she'll like
or she'll just build herself a new iPad. You know, like they have kids building those anyway. She probably it's in their blood at this point.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. What about is there anything that a Mexican mom won't throw? Is like, do they only exclusively throw the chancla, or will they throw other newspapers, other things, plates? Is it just the flip-flop?
No, you'll get the occasional like cup thrown at you.
Oh, really?
I stopped wearing belts for a long time because my mom would grab my belt and like throw it at me or hit me with it. So like for the longest
with your own belt? Damn.
Yeah. And then like at that time when I stopped wearing belts is when I was in like middle school and high school where like studded belts were the thing.
Yeah.
So like if you see any pictures of me in high school, not a single belt. I stopped wearing belts.
That's like suicide.
I started wearing belts when I moved out.
It's like why is Alvaro always wearing a fuzzy belt? I never understood that.
No belt. Times I do the shoelace.
Yeah.
But I'm like, she can't hit me with a belt if I don't have one.
Piano wires you with the shoelace. Man, it's like you got to choose your clothing carefully. So what about this? Kay said, do Mexicans really all drink Coca-Cola instead of water?
There is a huge issue in Mexico. There's a huge issue
y'all don't drink water?
Sugar. There's a lot of like from places where I grew up, like clean drinking water was like you'd have to boil river water. Oh. So like there was a long time where like drinking Coca-Cola was like the cleanest, safest thing to do. But like there's like a big thing in Mexico where like now if you buy like a Mexican Coke, you'll see right there like, hey, excessive sugar and all that stuff. Because like they'll drink the minute they wake up, they'll drink a liter of soda.
Wow.
So like
just because it's more accessible, it's cleaner. You probably have more problems.
I'm just going on its addiction now. It's convenience.
Oh, sugar is insanely. It's a drug.
Yeah. Because like in Mexico, like
and it's better over there. The Coke is better.
They're working on it. Like they've been working on it, but like in Mexico, like most houses, their fresh water supply comes like on top of their roofs of their houses. They'll have like water jugs or water towers. Because like the town that I grew up in Mexico, we only the municipal system only turned on the water for our district every 3 days.
Oh wow!
So that would be the water that we wash our dishes with and take showers with.
Right.
So we would have to, and then so we'd have to ration it, and then it'd be like water sitting up there, and we weren't like cleaning it with Clorox and all that stuff. The cleanest way to take care of it was like boiling it. So.
But then Coke was free flowing. You had Coke all the time.
Yeah, because like convenience stores would get orders of Coke, they'd get, but also like water jugs of water, we would get them. But when he would run out or you'd run out of them, couldn't do anything until you got more.
You guys should have did anyone ever shower with the Coke instead to save the water so they could drink it?
I mean, that'd be
just fizz it up.
Taking a shower, you'd just be all sugary and
maybe you have to boil it or something.
So like the way that I would shower is like we'd get those 5-gallon Home Depot buckets.
Yeah.
You'd get 2 of them, one with cold water and one with boiling hot water. And you'd mix them and you'd kind of just do the cup shower.
Sure. Like that's how you shower at Coachella, basically, when you don't want to wait in line.
Never been to Coachella.
Yeah. But you basically have if you've the way that you were raised in Mexico. It's the same thing.
I could survive Coachella just from
less lines.
Experience and memories.
I'd rather take a shit in Mexico in a hole in the ground than one of those porta potties at Coachella.
Some places in Mexico we didn't have the hole because you couldn't dig through the bedrock.
So then you just shit on the ground.
Yeah,
and then bury it.
So the way we not even bury it. The way in my grandpa's house, we'd have like a wall built out of literal rocks. You'd go there, you'd turn 2 left corners, and you'd squat, use the bathroom. There was a shovel. You'd grab the shovel and fling it over the wall, and the wild animals would eat it.
Really? Wait, so the wall was just to separate you from the shit?
Like privacy.
Oh, okay.
It was like an outhouse.
Gotcha. It was like a little
roof.
Curtain. It was like a rock.
Not even a curtain. We just that way like
it was like a rock curtain.
Yeah, so you'd walk it and you couldn't see if somebody was in it.
I see. Yeah. All right, so you had a little bit of it was a bit
bit of privacy.
Yeah, a bit civilized.
We had the clean shovel.
That's cool. What about this? This is really interesting. Korzik asked, "What do you think of the stereotypical portrayal of Mexicans in American culture?" So, like, Speedy Gonzalez, is he tacky or is he endearing? Like, what are your favorite and least favorite portrayals of Mexican stereotypes? So, first of all, what do you think of Speedy Gonzalez?
I like him. I grew up watching Speedy Gonzalez, like the old cartoons and stuff like that. There's like, I know there's like
and your parents were never like, turn that shit off. That's fucking racist.
Like, we found that stuff funny. Like, I know there's like a whole generational move from like, the new generation doesn't want to say Latino, Latina. It's like Latinx, political correct, and all that stuff. I'm from like a generation where like it was like it's not a big deal. It's just like whatever. We weren't bugged by it. Like we're not like easily offended by like culture appropriation, all that stuff.
Right.
Like if you like one of the things, like if you were like walk around, I invited you, like I want you to go with me to like Pico Rivera and like go to a rodeo and all that stuff.
Yeah, Rodeo.
And I'm like, you're like, I wanted to see you in boots and a belt and a hat. And you're like, oh no, like,
will I get fucking beat up?
No,
do I have to get like 30 times tanner to do that? Okay.
People love it. You could walk up to a Mexican, like if you put on my sombrero and you're like, hey, how do I look?
Yeah.
Like if you ask like a random Mexican on the street, be like, oh, you look good. Or if you look bad, you'd be like, te miras feo, mijo.
Like a white guy wearing a sombrero and like maybe a poncho on Cinco de Mayo, right? And he's just having fun celebrating. Not offensive to most Mexicans. Like, you think some Mexicans would be like, what the fuck?
Maybe like the younger generation, like the Gen Z of Mexico.
Okay.
Because they're a little more
the woke guys,
which is not a bad thing. They're like, hey, cultural appropriation. You're taking our culture, but it's like with Mexicans, I've grown up. I'm like, hey, it's not like it belongs to not one person. It's like it's all like it belongs to everybody. Like,
gotcha.
Taco Bell is offensive to us, but like everything else is like like it's not like I'm not gonna get upset.
It's offensive to my insides as well. So
So like one of the things I want to do with you, it's like one of the surprises I had for you. And it's like I know you're not cool. I don't know if you'd be cool with it, but like I wanted to get.
Are you about to beat me with that right now?
No, but that's how it starts normally.
Jesus Christ.
So I know you were iffy, so I got you one of these.
This is me. This is mine.
That's yours.
What? I'm so glad.
So you could wear that anytime. You could wear it in front of a Mexican, and we'll like,
bro.
They'll be like, that's nice.
This is so like if I was in your shoes as a kid and my mom beat me with my belt, I would never wear this. This is like a good beating belt.
Well, yeah, that'd be the one like thick. That'd be like the one your dad or your grandpa would wear. Like he'd take it off like in that quickness.
Oh yeah.
And you'd be like, it'd be done.
Oh yeah, and there's horses.
And the thing
on
is
it.
Like if you move, you'd get another one.
Oh god, so you had to sit there.
So you
and take
just sit
it.
there.
No wonder you guys are so tough. I'm like, man, Mexican people are so fucking tough. Why is that? It's because they get beat with this thing every day. So this makes men. This is what men are made of.
Yeah, and
I like it. This is great.
It's yours, and that's from Mexico.
I'm gonna wear this to the rodeo, the first rodeo you take me to. Which more on rodeos in just a bit. I've got some surprises for you there. This is awesome. Let's see, Bard sir. Can Mexicans say the N-word?
I know some do, like the cholos and all that stuff. I've never felt comfortable saying it.
Right.
It does feel it's a strong word to say. But at the same time, I say, we have our version of the N-word, calling someone I don't know, I guess say wetback, beaner, or stuff like that.
Oh, really? Is that the
like
equivalent?
If somebody calls
the M-word?
Yeah, like if somebody calls me like a wetback, like a white person or something like that's offensive.
Right.
But at the same time, like I'm not triggered by it anymore. Just because I've grown out of it, I'm like, oh, sticks and stones kind of thing. But it's I've never said the N-word.
But do you guys have like an M-word similar to the N-word? Because like black people will call each other the N-word, almost like as like bro, right? Do you guys, is it like pato or something? Like, do you have an equivalent of that?
Well, our equivalent would be like Mexicans, like we're known because like we talk a lot of shit about each other. So like our equivalent would be like calling somebody like pendejo or call that stupid or like calling them like an offensive term, but we don't have like a sad word where we call each other a certain way. The closest thing would be like we call each other way, which is like hey fool more likely.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not you guys don't really have a true N-word equivalent where it's like you can call each other it, but nobody else can call you that.
Not that I've heard particularly.
Because that's very specific to the N-word. You know, like, we can call each other, but nobody, you can't call me that. I'll beat you up.
Yeah, no, but like I've been in situations where like I've gotten into like arguments with somebody and like they call me a wetback. I'm like, but so are you. And
right.
I'm like, it doesn't make
a Mexican
any sense.
person will call you that.
And I'm like, but so are you. I'm like, we're both like here illegally at one point.
Yeah, it's the kettle calling the.
It's the kettle calling the pot black.
Pot calling the kettle black. I don't know, something. I don't even know my own language. That's really interesting, though. Okay, so you guys don't really have an N-word. But what about this? Jonathan asked, I had a boss telling me about growing up in Mexico and eating cactus regularly. Is that actually a thing? It is, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Nopal, they're really good.
Yeah.
One of my favorite fruit of all time is prickly cactus pear fruit.
Yeah, I have a nopales cactus in my backyard.
Yeah.
My like 2 weeks ago, my gardener and I were talking. He was like just talking to me for like 30 minutes, telling me how to eat the cactus in my backyard. Yeah. He was like, cut it up, barbecue it, like cut it open, like grill it on both sides. And I was like, that thing's been there the whole time, and I'm just finding out now that I can eat it. And he's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, and especially like you season it right. It's like if there's a lot of if you're a vegetarian, it's a great vegetarian option for substitute for meat.
Yeah.
I love it. I grew up like as a kid watching my grandma take this the spines off of it, and it tastes really good.
But that's just specific cactuses you can eat, and other ones you should probably not eat. So just don't universally check yourself before you wreck yourself. What about this? These are really quick. I'm calling this part of the segment. It's still the same segment, but I'm calling it this or that. So just first thing that comes to your mind: Cholula, Tapatio, or Valentina?
I gotta say Tapatio on that one.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Tapatio. All right, next. Chilango or not Chilango?
Chilango.
What is Chilango?
I'm not sure exactly, but like I know I've heard it. It's just I feel like it's a food or something, but like or it's somewhere. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Okay.
But it sounds like something I should agree with.
Yeah.
We might have to Google it.
I mean, if you are Mexican, I feel like going with the Chilango. No, that's such Chicago.
Like I feel like it should say yes.
Mexican slang for natives of Mexico City.
Oh.
Why do they call them Chilangos? It's an expression, Chilango, initially referred to people from the provinces who migrated to Mexico City. So maybe he's asking, are you from Mexico City?
I'm not from Mexico. I'm from like a more rural area.
So you're not a Chilango. I think that's what they call natives of Mexico City. Got it.
I would be like closer, like more. Oh, actually, you know what? I just remembered something. Talking about like the kind of like the N-word. You know the word cholo?
Yeah.
It was kind of like a derogatory term put on by the Spaniards onto like Latin Americans because it's a dog.
Oh.
The Xolo dog?
Yeah.
That hairless Mexican dog?
Gotcha.
So, I mean, that would be an equivalent,
right? Maybe. But you guys will you guys call each other cholos?
Like,
what's up, cholo?
I grew up with like cholos, like in like that guy's a cholo, like it was a bad thing because they were like gangsters.
Oh, okay.
But like it goes back to like the history of like when the Spaniards would call each other and call like Mexicans, like they call them cholos because they were like, oh, you're a dog.
Do you think Mexican gangsters call each other cholos as a
they
way
like
to
appropriated it
as a way to be like, like when black guys say like, oh, he's a gangster or he's a G, right? It's almost like it's street cred. Is it similar to that? Like you get street cred for being called a cholo if you're in a gang?
Probably. Like when I grew up in the 90s, like around like the cholo culture and stuff like that, people who were cholos, like they had like a reputation.
Right. So he's a real cholo.
Yeah.
Like this guy's a real cholo.
Like you could dress like a cholo, but like to actually be a cholo was like an actual thing because like there was the criminal aspect of it and growing up and all that.
You had to earn that title a little bit. I see. All right, Corona, Modelo, Pacifico. I already know your answer to this one, but just for the people. Modelo.
Yeah.
El Jefe asked, birria tacos or al pastor tacos? This is tough. And El Jefe is Mexican, I would assume.
Yeah. El Jefe is the boss, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I know El Jefe. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh, one of your moderators, right?
He's not a moderator, but I've met him at like meetups and stuff like that. Okay. So I think he's Mexican, but that's a question a Mexican would ask, right? Because they know that pulls on your heartstrings. There's a fork in your heart.
From where I grew up.
Where do you go?
From where I grew up, we had both, but I've always gone towards al pastor.
Me too.
Because it just tastes really good, but birria is really good too.
It's so good.
They're both really good.
You know what the tiebreaker is for me is that birria tacos are just messier. So I go with the cleaner.
But it's the sauce is like it's our version of French dip.
It's a French dip. Yeah. Which I love French dip, but I have a weird. I'm weird. I just like if it's messy, I'm like.
But if you don't have the consommé, that's what makes it for me too. If you don't have the consommé, then it's just the.
Yeah,
and it's you gotta have with al pastor, it's
without
the
French dip, au jus or whatever. It's just a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah,
it's not the same. But Al Pastor, my God, like I think that's the number one reason I want to go to Mexico City.
Yeah, but then it comes down to when you come to birria, it's like, okay, is it goat or is it beef?
Right.
Because there's two different.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had the goat.
No?
Nah.
I'll take you.
Okay.
Goat, I prefer goat.
Do they have like tacos and stuff? They have to have like them at the rodeos.
Oh yeah, where I'm taking you, they have everything.
Speaking of rodeos, I've got some. I pulled up some rodeo TikToks that I want to show you. Mm. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to a rodeo, even when you invited me back then. But after seeing these, I definitely want to go.
I sent you videos.
I definitely want to go. But this there's some good shit here.
This is what I would be doing if I hadn't moved to the U.S.
I hope not.
Oh no, yeah, you'll see that.
And I also just love how quickly they are to like rope the cow up. Like the accuracy on that is insane.
It's a bull.
Oh, the bull. Sorry, that's right. A cow wouldn't be very very entertaining.
No.
But dude just launched him.
Oh yeah, no, you'll see that all the time.
The power of these bulls.
I've sent you videos and I was like,
it's unreal.
It was like especially with like the horse riding. Oh yeah, he got knocked out.
Did you see that though? Did you see?
Like he got. That's why he wears the helmet.
Look at this shit. Look at his head. Boom.
Yeah.
Like how many metric tons of force just went on his head right there?
No, yeah, dude. You'll see these guys. They'll have like steel plates and screws everywhere.
Dude, how many pounds is that thing? The thing is tons of pounds just all on his head. The striking force. Boom.
Yeah, no. The bull weighed like 1,500 pounds.
He's only getting up because of pure adrenaline. This dude has a concussion immediately.
He's been hit more than once. Oh, that's why he's got the helmet.
Oh my God! Like,
because he rode one once and he wasn't wearing the helmet.
What about? Hold on. Let me go this up. This dude.
Yeah, ride's not over.
Dude, he's just spinning on it. These guys are insane.
But they do it, and a lot of them are. They love it, man. They're like, I can't do anything else. That's probably what I would be doing if I hadn't moved to the U.S. Just for the thrill.
Realistically, how long can you do that before you either die or before you like your spine? Because I feel like with like a football player, you know, they play for 5, 10, 15 years, and then over that time they get herniated discs and they get like scoliosis. But I feel like with these guys, they have all the same problems within the first 8 seconds of riding a bull. No,
yeah. I mean, they're not doing this for a long period of time.
I can't imagine.
They're not going to be like, oh, I'm 46 years old. I've been doing this for 20 years. No.
What do you call them? What do you call the rodeo dudes? What are they called? Someone who does rodeo, like who rides the bulls. Bull rider?
I don't know how to say it in Spanish, but I would imagine there's a word
like the lifespan of someone like that career must be really short. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in Texas, they're pro athletes in Texas. Like you go to Texas, like they have them every weekend. There's guys who are like sponsored by like Monster, Honda, and stuff like that.
Right.
And they're making like tons of money
for that for the week that they're alive. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're riding like 8 to 11 seconds on a bull. Like they have whole things in Texas. They still great. Like over here in LA, we still have a little bit of it, but it's not as competitive as it is in Texas.
When you think about like the amount of money, like the dollars per second that those guys are making compared to like an NBA player. They must be the highest grossing like sport per second. Like how much money per second you're getting? Because you're like you said, you're on that bull for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
you probably
made second for second.
That was whatever.
No,
I don't know how much.
Some of them make like a couple $100.
Yeah.
Some of them won't even make anything.
Really?
It's like maybe they'll just like get like they'll be hired to put on a show.
Damn, that's
just
not much.
For the event.
Wow. So they're just doing it for the love of the game. They're really doing it just for the joy of
or the thrill.
Almost dying. This looks fun. I mean, to watch, not to participate in.
No, and the clowns that do this kind of stuff, like they'll have the clowns who like will distract the bulls when someone falls.
Yeah.
I think they're the tougher ones because they'll be the seasoned people who have been doing it for 20 years.
Dude, look at how just easily that bull moved that whole gate. Just like it's made of toothpicks. Like it's like the fence.
Dude, they're strong.
Just the way that he's just clobbering things. How are these guys not shooting? Look at this. This is so crazy. The stare down.
Yeah.
Dude, no.
There's one that I've seen at rodeos where they'll get like a poker table, put like a couple chairs around it, and just get people from the audience to be like, all right, last person sitting wins.
What?
And they'll like get a prize. Like that's something I always wanted to do.
You gotta sit the whole time.
And they'll release a bowl and just it's awesome. I'll send you a video of it later. It's
Dude,
like
that reminds me of one of the talks in here. Let me see if this no. So this is I guess trick writing.
Yeah.
I think this is like what white people turned it into.
No, Mexicans do that too.
Mexicans do this too?
Yeah.
That lady looks hella white. That looks like Barbie.
The one that's like one of my favorite ones is like they'll release a horse and then it's like a lasso competition. The guy will lasso the horse, wrap it around his saddle.
Yeah.
And you see just smoke. He's wearing a leather glove, and the horse is pulling the rope so hard it's making this giant plume of smoke.
Oh my god.
And it's like if you grab it wrong, like it'll deglove you.
How do we make this sport even more death-defying? This looks fun. I saw this.
I've seen this one, yeah.
This is like bull soccer.
Oh, okay. I saw the other one where the guy gets hit and he gets launched 40 feet back.
That one might have been faked.
Yeah, no, it was.
But these look real. These look like real hits.
Yeah, no, those are real.
I would do that. I think I would do this.
Nah,
if I was really drunk, I would probably do this. No, I wouldn't do that. I would never do this.
Look up horse lasso competition.
Horse lasso competition. Yeah. All right, hold on. There's one more here. And then we'll do that one. Which one is this? Okay, look. This is like slow-mo.
Oh.
Why is this bull worth $25 million? God Mode is the bull's name. First of all, massive creature. And just look how much, it's just pure muscle. It's just tons.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Several tons of pure muscle. Flying through the air. Like the amount of, look at that shit.
It's like 5 feet in the air.
Like a blue whale is impressive just based on its sheer mass, but like that's in the water. Like this thing is hurling in midair at your face. Just imagine if one of those hooves just landed on your chest. It would just go through your whole body.
Oh,
it would skewer you like a fucking lamb kebab.
There are videos of like the bulls coming down and like caving in a guy's chest.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm actually surprised that doesn't happen, that I don't see more videos of that, of just the bull landing straight on them and going just like skewering them.
You know how like in the US you'll get people on Facebook and like they'll post a video like, oh, I can't believe LeBron missed that layup and stuff like that. They're talking like, oh, I could do that, no problem. Or like, I can't believe Tom Brady missed that pass. If I was playing, I would have. Mexicans do the same thing when they see like, he only lasted 3 seconds on the bull. I could have done all. Oh, he fell off. Oh, he got stepped on a little bit and he's laid there. No, they do the same thing.
It's so easy. It's so easy. It looks so easy. Like
it looks so easy.
That's the thing. When somebody makes something look that easy, like when you see like the Olympics and they're ice skating and they just make it look so easy, like it actually took them thousands of hours to make it look that easy. To the point where you go, I could do that. Yeah. Like you're delusional. You could never do that.
Like they could never do. Remember that show, Joes versus Pros? No. It was like a show on Spike. It was like they'd get online trolls be like, oh, I could have done that, and they put them up against pro athletes.
That's awesome.
Like there's like a Joe versus Pro like boxing.
Put their money
one,
where their mouth is,
and they could like the Joes like could hardly destroyed. Ever. Yeah, they get destroyed.
Oh, that's good.
I would love to see that with bull riding.
Yeah, just the. Oh my god.
Yeah,
dude, there'd be so many deaths. It'd be so funny.
Waivers.
What did you want me to look up?
Horse lasso competition.
Horse lasso competition. Whoa. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, so that's from another... Oh my god, I didn't even see the horse.
No.
He just ran so fast. So he lassoed him at like 100 miles an hour. This horse is bolting.
And then he's got to hold on to it. He's got the entire rope through his hand.
Oh my god!
And go back to the browser. There was another one. You'll see it.
God.
The one on the right, all the way on the right.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this one.
Wait. Whoa. That's just the smoke coming from the rope going through his glove?
And the friction of it on the saddle.
And the friction on the saddle.
Yeah.
Dude, that has to like... When that goes wrong, that goes really wrong.
It's a one-time use glove. Yeah, no. If with the other hand he's holding on to the excess, and if he gets it wrong, if his finger gets caught in it, it'll rip off.
It's gone.
Like the meat, it'll deglove it. Or if the glove's too worn out, it'll just rip a hole through his hand.
Some raw al pastor right there.
Yeah, no.
God dang, bro. That's a whole lot of nope from me. So yeah, we should go to a rodeo though. We should go to a rodeo.
Telling you.
It'd be really fun.
I texted you when I was there last time, and I was like wearing the wrong shoes. I didn't wear. I just went with my Jordans. It was like a last minute thing. My mom was like, "Come over," and I was like, "Okay."
Do you think I could pass for Mexican if I was there? Do you think people would like speak to me in Spanish, maybe like confuse me for being Mexican, or do I clearly look like I'm not?
No,
maybe mixed.
I mean, I look mixed. Everyone confused me for Filipino, but like it's never been an issue. Like when I went there, I was just like, I was drinking. I started dancing with some like random chicks and stuff like that, and it was like nobody had a problem with it. I always just
feel like when people, because like people in LA I'll be at like 7-Eleven, they'll like a guy will start speaking to me in Spanish, and I always just feel like they're disappointed in me when I tell them that I don't speak it.
No, I mean, even in there, just say there's a lot of kids who are of Mexican descent, Mexican Americans who don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
We call them no sabo kids.
Yeah.
Like it's very common, but like if you're there and you're having fun, people aren't gonna say anything.
I just don't want to let anyone down,
No, it's no one's gonna be looking at you. People are so busy, like Mexicans we're too busy doing our own thing to worry about somebody else.
Okay, all right, I feel good about that. How do you feel about this?
Oh no, she's dumb ways to diet for sure.
Wait, hold on, I think there's audio. Hold on, if I can get my shit together.
Yeah, no. That's a great way to get your spine fused surgically.
Do you think she lived? Do you think she's alive? Do you think that's like a life ender right there? Like that horse is on her, like it rolled on her body, rolled over her. Like getting run over by a car.
If it's like quick, I would hope that it was just like, no.
You could see her body like spring up.
There's a chance she might be all right.
I would if that was me, I'd hope I was dead right there. I'd be like, don't keep me conscious for this.
If her legs are still around the saddle, she might have like dislocated something. No, she definitely broke something in the hips. Because like if you look at her right foot, it's still in the saddle. Yeah, it's still like in the struts.
Oh no.
No, yeah, something's not moving how like it used to.
I would love to see that in person though, so we should definitely go.
Well, the one I go to, they do the bull riding. They don't have like competitions like that. Depends on when we go.
Right.
But like the one I want to go to is like for my birthday. So my birthday's on September 15th, which is the day before Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah.
So my birthdays are usually like the Mexicans are celebrating hard, and it's not because of me, but I like to think it's because of me.
Whoa, so it's like a white guy being born on Christmas.
It's like a white guy being born on 4th of July.
New Year's or 4th of July.
Yeah.
There's always a party.
Yeah, there's always a party.
And then everyone's just trying to get you plastered probably. Everyone's get him drunk.
I've never like done to like celebrate my birthday too much. Like I've always been like real chill and stuff like that. I used to just like stay home. But like this year,
but I would imagine they'd want to celebrate your birthday. Like, fucking get this guy Concholo.
Yeah, that's what I want to do this year. Shots. Like I want to go to like Pico Rivera where like and just get turned up. I want to see you in boots. I want to see you in a hat. Don't care if you want to buy them. I'll pay for them. I just need you in them.
No, I'll get my own.
This isn't the place to be wearing shoes. I messed up my Jordans last time I was there, but I didn't plan on going.
Yeah. No. It's like the rave we went to. You don't wear your good shoes there because they get chewed up. They get chewed up instantly in a couple hours. Oh, yeah, I'm down, man.
It's gonna be fun,
dude.
Like I'm gonna get us a table and stuff like that, and we're gonna like VIP access. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah. Dude, like, I'm stoked.
Like what I like about it is like they come out, they give you like a 6-pack of beer. Like, oh, how much you want? 6-pack? Here you go. Damn. And just take it with you.
There's no limits. No limit on drinking.
The limit is just how much cash or your debit card.
Your liver. Damn. All right, I'm down. That sounds super fun, man. It's in the middle? Do they ever do like night rodeos, or is it usually
no?
The day?
It's like it'll start depending on the show and stuff like that. So the one I went to was like a bunch of really good Mexican artists and stuff like that. Yeah, it was like a great lineup. They'll start 3:00 and they'll end at 12.
Are these guys actually competing, or are they just doing it for fun?
Sometimes they have like competition. So like the ones that we're going to, it's just a show. It's just show. There's no competition and stuff like that. Right. But then there's gonna be live music after because we're celebrating Mexican Independence Day. Yeah. But it's like around my birthday. It's the same weekend.
Right.
So it'll be sick.
That'd be sick. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, because it lands on a Saturday. Yeah. So people are gonna get they're gonna get trashed. Yeah. And then the only thing I'm gonna say about these places is like, stay away from the guy who is aggressive because they'll be drunk people just start fighting.
Okay, I was gonna. That was my next question. Is like, do fights break out all the time?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Because everyone's drunk, everyone's like partying.
Yeah, last time I was there was 2 brothers who were beating the shit out of each other.
It's probably family a lot of the time, huh?
I don't know what it was, but I just grabbed one guy from the shirt. I'm like, hey, I said in Spanish, I'm like, hey, calm down. Yeah. Let's have a beer. Yeah. And I just gave him one of my beers, and we just started drinking together.
He's like, you know what solves all this? More alcohol.
Yeah. No, and then he was like, you don't get it, man. Like he did this. I'm like, bro, who cares? We're drinking.
Yeah, right.
Like who cares?
Live in the moment, bro.
And then like 10 minutes later, his brother comes back. He's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, have a beer.
Yeah.
And I just started drinking with some random dudes.
That's great.
And then my mom was like, "Were you in that fight?" And I'm like, "I broke it up."
Right. Yeah.
My mom was like, "You shouldn't be doing that." And I'm like, "I was just giving him beer."
Yeah. On that note, you also have a very interesting life outside of just being a Mexican person. I didn't want that to be the total thing that this whole episode revolves around. But there's also something very interesting about you that you're in the swinging life, the swinging poly life, or if that's what you would call it.
Well, okay, so I'm in it's the lifestyle. It's like the broad term for it.
The lifestyle.
Yeah, the lifestyle. I am an experienced swinger. I am polyamorous, and I'm also into kink.
Okay.
It's like there's like a few different things.
So what is the difference between swinging and polyamorous?
Swinging is just sleeping with random people and stuff like that. It's just sex and stuff. Like polyamory is like I can sustain relationships with different people, like have multiple partners.
Multiple SOs at the same time.
Yeah, people that I care about on an emotional, not just a physical level.
So swinging is more of the physical. Like you can be in a relationship and still swing. You can still have sex with other people that aren't your partner.
So like you could be in a monogamous relationship where you and your partner are exclusive. You don't date anyone else.
Yeah.
But you go to a swinger club and hook up with different people at the same time
just
or
physical.
separately.
It's just physical. Right. But poly is like you could have 2 girlfriends. You could have, they might have 3 boyfriends, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's more of like, and you hang out, you go on dates. It's not just physical. There's an emotional connection.
There could be some part of the polyamory where it's just physical itself.
Oh, okay.
Like you could have just a friend with benefit.
I see.
Or you could be like, in my aspect, I have with my polyamory, I have partners that I date.
Right.
I have partners that I just do kink with, and there are partners who I just sleep with.
So if you're in a monogamous relationship, but then there's this other person that you kind of are friends with benefits, is that sort of like a gray area between swinging and polyamorous?
There's
not sort of a weird in between.
I'm still new to it, but there's no like defining line. You don't like some people like
it's a spectrum.
Yeah, it's a spectrum.
Gotcha.
There's no like now you've made a decision, you're no longer in this category.
Right.
It's a flowing kind of thing.
How did you get started with the lifestyle? How did that all begin?
Well, my ex told me she wanted to experience. She was bi-curious.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, interesting. We started talking about it. She tells me February 2020. We started reading, talking, watching videos, spent an entire year discussing things.
And bi-curious, you mean like she's kind of interested, maybe like she wants to try hooking up with a girl?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, and what guy's going to say no to that? Well, actually, a lot of guys say no.
I'm sure a lot would, a lot wouldn't as well.
And I was like, okay, we looked into it. And when you're in a monogamous relationship looking for a single female to hook up with, the single female is known as a unicorn because they're really hard to find. So we were trying to find a unicorn, and it got a little more difficult. We tried online, apps, and then we started dipping into the swinging clubs. But we were like, okay, swinging clubs now it's exchanging partners. Right. And then we started dipping into that. We had a good experience.
With a couple or just a girl?
Girl? Well, both.
Oh, with both.
We both had great experiences with it, and then shortly after her and I separated, I kind of took a pause and stuff like that on doing anything. Yeah. Which funny part is like our breakup had nothing to do with the swinging life or.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like once you guys started doing swinging and polyamorous stuff, how did that affect your relationship and your sex life between the two of you?
So.
Did it help?
When people are gonna dip into this kind of thing with a partner, you both need to have a solid relationship.
For sure.
So our relationship fell apart for something completely different, nothing to do with this. It actually made our sex life way better. It had, after 16 years with somebody, there's a little bit of dull, not as and you find new ways to find excitement.
Yeah.
So when we started swinging, it reamped our sex life. Even the year that we had spent, not even hooking up with anyone, we had spent an entire year before we did anything.
Right.
It like the conversations made our sex life better. We were talking like.
You're probably just like amped up all the time. You're like just way hornier. Like just the thought of it, it's like it's something new and exciting. Kind of adds that spice back into your relationship.
Yeah, and it was great. And it was like it was nice. Like hey, we were going to strip clubs together, and watching your partner get a lap dance from another girl. Yeah. There's something exciting about it.
Ooh, question for you.
Yeah.
Is it hotter to have 2 girls on you, or to watch your SO get double teamed by you and another guy? So 2 girls, 1 guy, or 1 guy, 2 girls?
It depends.
What's better?
Depends on what your vibe is. There are some guys.
Do you have a preference? Like if you could only do 1?
I like 2 girls.
2 girls, man, that's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure.
I can't even satisfy 1 girl. Let alone double that.
It's a lot of pressure.
That's twice the disappointment.
No, and
that's so much disappointment.
It's not easy. It's stressful, but you know what? What I've learned is like That's the reason I've kind of started dipping into more like less swinging, more polyamory.
Okay.
Is because if I build a relationship with somebody before any sexual activity, I feel more relaxed. I feel more into it. Right. Imagine you go on a date with the girl for the first time. Yeah. And it ends up with you guys hooking up. Yeah. Now you have like, no, I'm nervous. I want to, I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to I want to give a good performance.
Right. It kind of sets the bar really high right from the get go. It's a lot of pressure.
But like if you get to know somebody, slowly build up to it. Now it's like, now there's more excitement, there's more comfort. Right. You're not so nervous about it.
Right. You kind of like know that person a bit more by the time you actually do something physical, so it's less scary. You know what I mean? It's like there's a bit more trust involved, a bit like, oh, I kind of know this person. I know they're not going to fuck me over. I'm not going to fuck them over. There's a bit more trust, I think.
Yeah, but that's my experience with it. There are a lot of people who are just, and especially with like swinging couples and stuff like that, where they just want the random hookups. They don't want any connection whatsoever with the people or the girl or whatever.
Right.
And it's a spectrum.
But you know what's interesting is like, you really blew my mind when you told me like that this community just thrives and exists in LA, and like you can go to these meetups, you can go to sex parties, that these are happening right here in LA like every week.
Oh yeah,
every single week there's people just like orgies. There's right.
There's like, everywhere. Yeah,
every week.
We're in a massive city. Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's summer. Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on. There's pool parties going on.
Sure.
There's random gangbangs and all that stuff.
See, that's insane though, because like this is all shit that you either see on Pornhub. Right, on porn, or in like movies. The fact that it's like happening down the street, it's happening in downtown LA. Like tonight, probably there's shit going down,
and it's just like it's all structured and organized. Well, if like the people who keep hosting certain events, like you can find them online. There's a lot of easy websites. The one that I primarily use is one called FetLife.
FetLife, okay. Yeah. So is there a bunch of like these like smaller companies like that organize these, or is it a few large ones that run everything? How is it structured?
A lot of ways. There are some people who host individual parties. There are people who like own clubs.
Okay.
There are people who their organizations. Like Field is an app used for couples or singles looking to find kinky or swingers and stuff like that. They have started hosting their own parties and events and stuff like that.
Yeah. What's it like? Walk me through like a typical club. I know they range a lot, but you walk in. I think you had told me this a while back that there's like some that you go into and there's multiple rooms with like the doors closed and like maybe a window that you could see into what's happening in each room. Yeah. And in one you might see just a single couple fucking. Maybe another one you see like 3 guys and 1 girl. And another one you see 3 girls and 1 guy, or maybe another one you see 2 gay guys. So is it kind of like that, where it's just
pretty
like
much has explained it? Yeah, that would be one of the swinger clubs I've gone to.
It's like you're at a zoo. It's almost like you're at a zoo, and there's like there's these animals doing this, and there's these guys doing that. Yeah, and can you just walk in and participate?
So
how does that work?
There's like etiquette.
Okay,
yeah. So there's like some ground rules for a lot of clubs. A lot of them are just like the main rule is always ask. Anything.
Of course, yeah.
Can I watch? Can I join?
That's a good rule for something.
You always
like that.
have to ask.
Sure.
Don't assume there's consent.
Right.
Assume there's never consent until you get actual confirmation.
Like a verbal yes.
Yeah, verbal. Like, yes. It has to be like, it can't be like, mm-hmm. It has to be like, yes.
Okay, that's really good.
It has to be like, yeah, you want consent.
It's not like you're rubbing up against someone and you're just, like when you're on a date with someone, maybe you should actually get the verbal consent on a date, but usually it's like one thing leads to another. You put your hand on their leg and you see if they put a hand back, and that's usually like consent enough for some people will say. Yeah. But this is like explicit. Like you need explicit verbal consent for anything.
Yeah. Like a lot of these clubs, a lot of them won't let you in without what we call memberships. You have to like read a whole legal disclaimer.
Do you have like a sex card?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
For a couple of them,
That's cool. And you like scan it when you go into the...
you show them, they have an ID picture, stuff like that.
Pull it out of your crotch or something.
I keep it in my wallet.
That's cool.
Yeah. It'd be kind of uncomfortable there.
Put it in your coin purse.
A lot of them have these legal disclaimers. And one of the ground rules is all of them have is you have to ask permission.
Wow.
So like the swinging, the one you're talking about, like you have all the rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That one's the one I described to you. That one is, it was Club Joy.
Yeah.
It's a swinging club. They have a basement area where they kind of do that. Like they have an upstairs club and a downstairs basement where they have hookups.
Right.
There are rooms that do have doors that lock and that have windows you can view from.
Okay.
If you're going to go into that room with somebody, you have to assume somebody's going to look through it.
Right.
But you can lock it.
Okay.
If you leave it unlocked, you're now,
allowing
people to like peer in. Yeah. Like people just like stand by the door and just like watch people hook up.
Do a lot of people just go there to watch? Where they're not doing anything. They're just cucking. They're just cucking and stuff. Yeah, voyeurs. Yeah.
They like to just watch or be watched and stuff like that.
Right.
You have to pick where you're gonna play. Like some of the rooms, like it has a main room where it has like 3 beds put together, and people just like have like a giant hookup. Damn. But they're out in an open space. You can't assume you're gonna be private in that space.
Right.
But
what's the biggest orgy you've seen? Anything huge?
I mean, I've been to like at the swinger club where like I saw like 10 people on one bed, but it was like that massive bed. It's like 3 or 4 beds.
That's still together. 10 people.
Yeah,
and like a fair mix of girls and guys.
Yeah,
and that sort of thing.
Like so, you also have to find like certain clubs like. It's a little harder for the single males to go to them,
right?
Because a lot of them are like couples only.
Yeah.
Because like they want
to weed out all the creepy guys.
Yeah, or the people that are just watching. They also want people to be participants.
Okay.
Because it'd be pretty boring if it was a club of people just sitting there watching 2 people.
Right.
Which I've seen.
Yeah.
I've been to a club where like I went with somebody, we were doing our own thing, and then like out of nowhere there's like 10 people just watching us. And it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's a little weird. That's a little weird when you've got like a full audience. You're like, I didn't want an auditorium.
But there are people who do enjoy it.
I'm sure.
There's one where I went to, that same club, where like one girl, she was just like, anyone or everyone could just come and just rail her.
Wow.
And she was welcoming.
Just an open door.
Yeah.
Revolving door. Just it's totally fine with it.
But as long as she's consenting to it.
And she probably enjoyed the attention too of like people watching. Like she got off on that. That was a kink of hers.
A friend of mine has taken his girlfriend to these clubs, and he will organize 6, 7, 8 guys to come in, just hook up with her.
Yeah.
And that's their thing.
Right.
And it's fun to watch. It's fun to participate.
What about like the safety thing? Like, do they always wear condoms? You have to show like test results, all that shit. Like, how does that work?
That's where every person has to navigate like safety on their own direction.
Okay.
So a lot of these clubs,
a requirement.
A lot of these clubs, like they don't require you to show, documentation, but you should, safety rule is always bring your own condoms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Assume that you're always checking if you're wearing it or they're wearing it. Don't assume they're just, they put it in and you're wearing one. No, you want to make sure that they are. But like if you're playing, like I don't really do those kind of random hookups. Like I do like, stuff with other people, and you get tested regularly. Right. I don't go out or hang or hook up with anyone that isn't regularly tested.
Gotcha.
So like me, I get tested every 3 months, which is standard, like kind of normal thing.
So you can just, I'm sure some people raw dog it too.
There's a lot, yeah.
There's a lot of people raw dog. So it's like choose your own partner. Risk assessment and you choose your own adventure type of thing. However bold you want to be. Or safe you want to play it. It's up to you. The choice is yours.
You have to be responsible for yourself, but you also have to be like, cautious of other people, because like you don't know if the person you're meeting tonight, like it's like the same thing going to a club. I'm going to tonight to Hollywood, do some drinks, do some dancing. I meet a random girl. Right. Am I gonna just assume she's clean?
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. So I'm just
not
like,
in
okay.
LA. Yeah.
No. So like now with like my not the swinging, but like the poly life and stuff, like when I meet new partners, I'm like, before things get sexual, I'm like, hey, just want to know, like, I want to have the discussion.
Right.
Because I don't want to catch anything.
Of course.
I'm like, here's my phone. I'm showing them the login to my health portal.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's my test results. And if they don't have recent ones, I don't feel comfortable.
That's fair.
To 100%. A certain point.
Yeah.
Like I'll do some stuff, but like, I'm like, oh, when's the last time you were tested? And it's an adult conversation. It's a difficult adult conversation. Right. But like, if you're going to be messing around in this lifestyle, I don't want to catch anything. And then like the other things, people can take precautionary steps.
Right.
Condoms, dental dam,
sure.
oral.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that I take. It's called PrEP. It's a medication that you can take daily.
Yeah.
To help you, like, if for whatever reason I'm exposed to the HIV, this drug, if I consistently take it for 28 days, it'll prevent or help lessen the chances I'll catch it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What?
But wild. I take it daily,
and that's why. Is that a new thing?
It's been around for a while,
Holy
but
crap.
it's something that I've been taking.
It's a lifesaver
for a while now, and it's that's why I get tested every 3 months.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because for this medication, to get it prescribed, you have to be negative for HIV.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I mean, someone like you who is like a seasoned swinger, polyamorous person who has lived, you are a part of the lifestyle. Would you ever, like, is that a requirement when you're dating? Like, they have to also be in that lifestyle or be open to it, or not?
Well, okay, so I'm not like crazy seasoned. I like the swinging thing, couple of years.
Sure.
The poly life, probably this last year since my separation.
Yeah.
But the, like, when I meet somebody new, I'm going to tell them up front, I am poly.
Right.
My dating profiles, I'm not dating anymore, like the apps I'm done with.
Right.
But like it says right there, polyamorous. So there's no surprise. I'd let them know, hey, I'm seeing other people.
Right.
I am active with other people. If they're not comfortable with it, I'm not going to twist their arm, hold them up against anything.
Right.
Because if you start lying to somebody, then you're just painting yourself into a corner. Like you lied, you didn't tell me you were dating other people.
Sure. What do you think you would do if you met someone, you started dating someone who was totally down, maybe they were also in the polyamorous lifestyle like yourself, and then somewhere down the line they have a change of heart and they go, you know what, I want us to be monogamous. What do you do? Like, are you like, hell no, or would you consider it if they were like a 10 in every other metric?
Well, that happened to me.
Oh yeah?
That happened to me a couple months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
I was dating somebody, first person I ever went out with after my separation.
Yeah.
Things were really good. I made it clear, this is where I'm at. This is how I feel. I'm poly. I'm exploring.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for monogamy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A couple months down the line, she was like, hey, you know, I really, really like you. I don't like that you're going out with other people. You know, I want to be monogamous. And I told her, I told you from the beginning, I don't see myself as monogamous anymore, especially not now. And she was like, well, it's me or it's monogamy or it's polyamory. And like, you can
ultimatum,
have me. Yeah, ultimatum.
Less, yeah.
And I told him, like, I'm not looking for someone to change me.
Yeah.
Or tell me what to do. I just, you know, so like,
if it's not,
if it's not going to work out, I'm not going to have someone force me to choose.
Do you see yourself ever changing that for someone? Like, do you ever think, are you aware of the possibility that someone might come along that would convince you to be monogamous? Or are you like, till the day you die, that's just who you are? I'm not against it. You're not against it.
It could be like that one very special person, but it's not at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not against it, but I'm not like, it's not happening at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless like I meet that, you know, I could on the way back to my truck right now bump into literally my soulmate, and it does change.
Sure.
You know, I'm going at this with an open mind.
Yeah. But right now it's like you're having fun, you're enjoying your life, and this is what makes the most sense for you right now.
Yeah.
Cool. What about question? Do they do a bunch of drugs? Do you guys do a bunch of drugs? When you're like,
some people do. Yeah.
Do they?
Like depends on your partner.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
What's the best? What's the bee's knees drug for these sex parties? Is it cocaine? Like what's everyone after? Is it Molly?
Well, you know me. I'm not like heavy into the drugs.
Well, yeah.
And
I'm
stuff
not
like
asking
that.
you.
No.
Like,
I know, but like, so a lot of these parties, like
choice?
normally the ones I see is like liquor. There's always I've seen a lot of cocaine, Molly, mushrooms, Viagra goes around a lot.
Oh
Cialis.
Yeah. See, Viagra, I feel like what makes perfect sense, but like liquor, maybe for the girls, but for like I can't get it up after a few drinks.
Well, for me, it's like
maybe you got to combine it with
anxious.
the Viagra.
No, for me, it's like I'm anxious, so like I'll have a couple of drinks just to relax me.
Oh,
that's
okay.
What it is. It's just to take the edge off.
Yeah,
of
maybe
me.
one drink.
Because you've seen me when I drink a little bit. I'm like I'm a little more relaxed.
Yeah, I was like, why isn't Alvaro hard right now? Yeah, just have a drink,
yeah,
bro.
I know.
No, dude, it really is a mental thing. It's like I'm the same way. It's like if you're with someone new, and I can't even imagine the anxiety that someone could feel potentially in like at a sex party, especially if it's like one of their first times. So I feel like a drink or two would ease the nerves, calm the nerves, because a lot of the time when you can't get hard as a guy, I feel like for me is 100% a mental thing than it is a physical thing. Because like, you know, like I'll be with a chick for the first time or whatever, and like I'm too in my head, can't get off, and then she'll leave the room and like I'll watch like porn on my phone and like get hard instantly. Yeah. You know what I mean? It is
you have to find what works for you. So like, you know, you figure out what kind of works for you. I've kind of figured out the math for me, and it's 4 shots of vodka over 2 hours.
That's very precise.
I've been working on it.
Damn. So like every half hour you take a shot of vodka for 2 hours.
Or a drink. Something with vodka is, you know, stuff like that. But like I remember like when I started dipping into swinging the first time, like we were doing something, I had that anxiety. I had performance issues.
Yeah. Right.
But
that's why I could never be with I could never do 2 chicks at the same time. That's just.
But it's so
that's
much
wild.
fun.
I mean, I'm sure. Like that's the thing. It's like I've seen it. You know, I've seen other people do it online, and it looks like they're having a blast.
Yeah, but the guys are online. A lot of them. Okay, the guys in porn, because I worked in porn for a while. During film. Right. They'll be on Viagra, or they'll have a pump. They'll have a device implanted in them where they push a button somewhere nearby.
Implanted in them?
No, yeah, like there's a procedure. Like for guys, like it's a medical thing for guys who are having erectile issues. They can press a button or activate something, and it'll literally inflate it for them.
Are you serious?
Yeah. A lot of guys in porn have that.
Is it like the Jordan, like those basketball shoes when you were a kid that you would pump it up with the basketball?
No, it's like you press, buzz.
Yeah.
And you don't hear it. I'm
like,
not sure exactly how it
fills
sounds.
your dick with air or something?
I don't know what it fills it with, but like it literally will inflate it for them, or like a wand or something.
It would have to like, I don't know, rush more blood to your dick.
Something. I don't know what it is, but like there's a device, and a lot of guys in porn do have them.
There's just like a button that they press, and it's like
it's literally I don't know if it's an exact button, but it's like something attached to the person or something. They grab a device and touch it to themselves, and it'll erect.
Just like you're filling up a bounce house, you know, for a birthday party.
Like, all right, they'll be like, it's time.
It's coming to life.
Time for the show, and they're like, all right, give me a second, I'm getting hard, but all they're doing is turning it on.
That's insane. Okay, I gotta Google that carefully. I gotta Google it carefully, but I'm gonna Google it. What happens if like someone's creepy at one of these parties? Like, is there an HR department that you go to if someone's like touching you when they shouldn't be?
A lot of the places have like bouncers and stuff like that.
They'll have security.
They'll have like security and stuff like that. I've seen it where guys have been dragged out or like escorted out because they're like, no, you crossed a boundary and stuff like that.
Are the security guards like in bondage, like leathered up? And
no, a lot of them are like dressed in suits and stuff like that. Or it depends on where you go. Some of the bondage, the BDSM clubs, they'll be wearing like a leather sash. It'll say DM for dungeon monitor and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know,
but they're not really participating. They're just there to.
They're usually just there. They're participants. Maybe they'll alternate shifts.
Yeah.
And then they'll participate. But like when they're in like security dungeon monitor mode, they won't. They're like their job is to keep people safe.
But their cigarette break is like taking 3 dicks or something.
No, they don't take breaks. Like they'll literally just like it's like the events are like 4 to 6 hours long. So there's like, a lot of them are like volunteers or. Stuff like that.
4 to 6 hours long. There's probably people that are there the whole time, just screwing, like their life depends on it. That's pretty cool. What was I gonna say? Oh, this is a question. Is there like a safe word if a dude's wiener touches yours? Do you both like yell out like protein? Like,
no, I mean, I don't.
Something masculine, like. Pussy, I love pussy.
No, I mean I've never been in that situation.
Okay.
But you got to be careful. You got to be aware of where you are. You got to know where your hands are and where your dick is.
Yeah, right.
The last thing you want to do is slip and that's not a hand.
Are there ever some guys that are like, look, just keep social distance our dicks?
Yeah, no. You make it clear with people like I'm not into dudes.
Right.
So no guy on guy contact.
Right. You stay on that side of her. I'll be on this side of her.
It's not as like there's a lot of talking. There should be a lot of talking before anything physical happens. Like you have to be like, hey, like. Like you meet in a couple and stuff like that, you get drinks, be like, hey, we're down for girl on girl.
Yeah.
Either soft swap, hard swap, or stuff like that. And be like, but no guy on guy.
Right.
Stuff like that. Like, keep
you've never had a guy try to sneak in, like he's trying to hold your hand while you're.
No.
Okay.
Because like, if somebody had done that, I would be like, not cool. End of the show.
Right.
Like, or, like things have happened, like, we're on the same bed and like hands have been like this close to each other, but like, I'm not going to get like, we bumped hands. Wow.
Any
like,
closer though, I will jizz on your face.
Yeah.
Although
like,
you probably like that.
I've never been like tip to tip close.
What about, so I've heard like swingers, a way that they show other people that they're swingers is with the upside down pineapple or a pineapple. Where it's like if you're on a cruise, you put like an upside down pineapple on your door to tell people that you're a swinger. Yep. That's a real thing?
Oh yeah. It's the upside down pineapple black wedding ring band.
A black wedding ring?
Yeah.
On the women or the man? On the man.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a sign of it too. So like upside down pineapple is like the universal one. Black wedding ring.
Black wedding ring is another one. Whoa. What if you're just like, is there maybe a code word or something that you would say to someone if you were just in conversation to let them know that you're a swinger? Or is there any kind of code word if you don't have a pineapple on you?
That I don't know.
You're like really far from
like,
Hawaii.
That I don't know. Like, I mean, if you're like random somewhere, have adult conversations. Just be like, if you're like at Hawaii with your partners and you guys meet a couple and you guys hitting it off, just be like, if there's no black wedding, be like, hey,
you're like, hey,
you guys don't mess around with swinging by any chance?
Sleep with your wife? Yeah.
Just don't say that.
Okay, yeah, don't say.
But like, be like, oh,
have some more tact.
Hey, the vibe's really cool. Are you guys like ever dabbled in swinging or something like that? Just be like, and if they say no, just be like, cool. Just walk with me.
Do you think if I went up to a swinger and I told them like, it naturally brought up in conversation that, oh, my favorite fruit is pineapple, and I said it in a way, do you think they would, you think the average swinger would pick up on that and go, I see you?
So when it comes to stuff with consent,
yeah,
be clear.
Oh, just come
clear.
right out and say it.
Yeah, just
don't beat around the bush. It's not like in the movies where it's like
kind of like, but like you got to feel the vibe.
The
like if you feel the vibe. Like if you guys, if you went to like a club or a place in Hawaii and you're kind of meeting, you guys meet a couple at the pool. You guys are drinking, things are getting real fun.
Yeah.
Read
the room.
Read the girls.
Yeah.
Like if they start getting comfortable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, don't be like, can I fuck your wife?
Yeah.
Don't be like that.
Yeah.
Just be like, talk to your partner and be like, hey, do you think? And they'll be between your partner first, verify with your partner.
Right.
Be like, hey, maybe I don't know if they be down.
Yeah.
And then there's usually one person in the couple. It's like you initiate the conversation.
Right.
So it'd be like, hey, weird question.
Yeah.
Like, you guys ever dabbled with swinging? And then just go from there.
Right. Exactly.
And be like, oh, all cool. Just we were wondering and stuff like that. And a lot of couples would be like, oh, so you guys are swingers? And you'd be like, yeah. And they'll be interested in at least the conversation.
Right.
Maybe something develops. Maybe something doesn't.
Right. Damn.
But don't be like, when it comes to like this kind of stuff, when it's like consent is important.
Yeah.
Don't beat around the bush and don't assume.
Just be direct. Be direct.
Be like direct, but be soft about your approach. Don't be like,
don't be aggressive.
Your wife's real cute. Mind if I rail her real quick?
Yeah. Somewhere between.
Unless it's like at a swinger club, then you can kind of make that joke a little bit. But like, you got to read the room.
Somewhere between I'm a swinger and I want to fuck your wife is where you should probably land. That makes a lot of sense. Dude, it's been great having you on. Thanks for coming on and sharing so much. And I'm sure this won't be your last time on here, but appreciate you sharing everything.
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting me come on.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, thank you so much for watching this one. Subscribe to the channel and also follow our Discord. We have a lot of good people there, and we'll see you guys next time. I'm just rambling now, so get out of here. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Later.